The candy-coated skyline of the Yum Yum Fun Park was a testament to joy, a carefully curated utopia where every ride, every concession, and every inhabitant was designed to project nothing but sweetness. But behind the pastel facades, the structural integrity of this society was built on a foundation of precarious, sugary instability. On the day things went sour, that facade finally cracked. It wasn't just a bad day, it was the total unraveling of the Yum Yums. It began with a directive from Smarty Artie. The central computer tasked with calculating the park's joy metrics issued a critical update: optimal happiness levels at risk. That one line of code sent the group into a tailspin of unmitigated panic. Peppermint Kitty, the de facto leader and only resident capable of operating the transport, felt the pressure most acutely. Her heightened sense of smell caught the faint, acrid scent of curdled cream before anyone else, the first sign that the park's chemistry was turning. She knew the mission to fix the rides was urgent. She turned to her right-hand Jumpin' Jellybean Bunny to coordinate the team. "Jellybean, we have to move now. Are you ready?" Peppermint asked. "Ready, ready, ready," Jellybean Bunny replied, her usual hyperactive pacing now laced with a desperate, frantic energy. The cracks in the group dynamic were already showing. Goody Grape Mouse, unable to handle the stress of the mission, was rapidly losing her composure. "Oh me, oh my," she stammered, wringing her hands near the entrance to the roller coaster of sweets. "Oh me, oh my, the syrup is leaking, everything is leaking, we're all going to be sticky forever. Wow, 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 oh, cuties, wow, 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 go, wow, about
the CRTB player. Just to spell for businesses. At this time, so they tell one nobody said for process by the tea. So, simply to by the episode, these TAs are one in but you have a child, and my just something maybe be enough of way the world's biggest, but there's somewhat better than much. The song about the moment maybe if it's what there is a table for the on to the people, where but you know, the party when I could be best about spam, the just to be well to keep people with actually about what you can, but show it to have it. It's also put in Katavia, have you looked up it stuff, but people think what people, but I can't wait to cooperate to pay. I will be trying to tell it is a typical so I don't need to be. I'd come in prepared to people. What I feel, but he met them to be put up at the port to get there. And attending to be at the moment which I'm waiting until get membership for the tension of my please get it the feeling of it. You will do what they're saying. If you only have a ticket, come in to talk and I can't cut off the videos. I don't know how to pay this way. I don't want to know right all.
While Goody Grape spiraled, Chuckle Chip Bear tried to diffuse the tension with forced, erratic humor. But the comedy fell flat. In a high-stakes environment, his jokes didn't soothe. They only served to highlight the growing absurdity of their situation. Then there was Lucky Lemon Drop Lion. He understood that the odds were against them. He reached into his pouch, popping 1, 2, then 3 lemon drops. He was betting the park's future on chance, hoping for a wish, a miracle, to stabilize the rapidly deteriorating atmosphere. But the more he ate, the more detached he became from the reality of the crisis. Cheery Cherry Poodle, meanwhile, was completely overwhelmed, attempting to maintain order among the Toppins, who were, for all intents and purposes, a powder keg of chaotic variables. The Toppins were the true wild card. Pinky Kitty, agitated by the rising panic, began to vibrate, spraying high-pressure whipped cream indiscriminately across the park's delicate machinery. Blooper Bear, in his pitiful state, stumbled through the crowd, his touch leaving permanent blue stains on the surfaces he grasped, effectively marking the park as ruined in real time. Fudgy Wudgy, paralyzed by the sight of Pinky Kitty's cream spray and Blooper's markings, retreated into a shell of terror, while Splitzel Puppy, driven by a neurotic need to nurture, began frantically force-feeding treats to the group, completely ignoring the fact that the sugar supply was what caused the collapse in the first place. As the sunset hit the Yum Yum Fun Park, the scent in the air shifted from cotton candy to something sharp, acidic, sour. They were a team of specialists with a mission, but they were also a group of individuals struggling with their own inherent design flaws. Smarty Artie's warnings became muffled by the sound of failing gears. Peppermint Kitty tried to drive them out, to steer them towards safety, but the path was blocked by their own collective anxiety. They say that on the day things went sour, it wasn't the rides that broke down, it was the trust. When we look back at the footage, we don't see a group of friends. We see a system that was never meant to endure anything other than perfection. And when reality finally set in, when the lemon drops didn't work and the cream sprayed too far, they were left with the bitter reality that sweetness, once gone, is impossible to replicate. The question remains, was the park destined to fail, or was it simply too fragile to survive the day things went sour? For years, the partnership between Chuckle Chip Bear and Fudgy Wudgy was the emotional heartbeat of the Yum Yum Fun Park. But behind the laughter and the cocoa-scented hugs, a toxic dynamic was brewing, one that would lead to a landmark lawsuit and the permanent fracturing of a sugar-coated legacy. The tension reached a breaking point during the dark chocolate incident of 2026. According to internal park memos, Chuckle Chip Bear, known for his relentless, high-energy comedy, pushed a prank too far. Sources say Chuckle Chip attempted to cure Fudgy Wudgy's famous anxiety by staging a massive simulated park collapse near the Fudge Falls. For Fudgy Wudgy, a character who is biologically wired to be easily startled, this wasn't a joke, it was a trauma. The resulting panic caused Fudgy Wudgy to flee blindly into the park's central command, inadvertently triggering a catastrophic shutdown of the candy-themed rides. "Oh me, oh my," Goody Grape Mouse reportedly told investigators. "Oh me, oh my," the screaming. It wasn't the funny kind, it was a that affering the idea I'm in sucker. A Kasim Gasho last Tony got that a full an hour. A town the Konaki see it in a narrow. I get take seeing jet frafat a few hello at Pantasy guy, Tia Dana Kia, Hana Rakafi say, hey, can't get that honey. In this day, can in a park at K. Enter Peppermint Kitty. As the park's primary operator and the only one licensed to drive the heavy machinery, Peppermint was tasked with the cleanup, but the damage was already done. Her heightened olfactory senses picked up more than just burnt sugar. She smelled a massive insurance liability. The Yum Yum Fun Park Corporation has now filed a multi-million-dollar lawsuit citing negligent entertainment against Chuckle Chip and operational interference against Fudgy Wudgy. But the most chilling part of the filing, the testimony of Peppermint Kitty. Peppermint, known for her rigid responsibility, has turned state's witness. In a leaked deposition, she stated, "I can smell the scent of a failing friendship from a mile away. Chuckle Chip's comedy was no longer serving the park. It was destroying the infrastructure. I had to make the call to protect the brand. The fallout has divided the park. Jumpin' Jelly Bean Bunny, Peppermint's right hand, has remained loyal to the administration." Loyal? 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 She was heard chanting outside the courthouse. Meanwhile, Lucky Lemon Drop Lion has been seen consuming record amounts of lemon drops, desperately wishing for a settlement that never comes. The lawsuit also highlights the physical damages. Pinky Kitty's stress-induced whipped cream spray caused $400,000 in electrical damage to Smarty Artie's mainframe. Blooper Bear's pitiful attempts to comfort the victims have left permanent blue stains on the legal documents themselves, rendering many of them inadmissible. Even the charitable Splitzel puppy couldn't fix this with treats. The park is now a zone of litigation, not celebration. Chuckle Chip Bear remains defiant, claiming his comedic license should protect him from liability. Fudgy Wudgy, however, has not been seen in public since the filing. reportedly hiding in the deepest parts of the Toppen quarters. Chicken or called Fetterfish from she never had the keys, George hacked as a ogaki. Hudo og Krikovo. Aka. At so Honada. This isn't just a corporate dispute, it's the death of a friendship that helped build the most famous fun park in the world. As Peppermint Kitty steers the park toward a cold corporate future, we have to wonder, was the sweetness ever real, or was it just a mask for the sourness underneath? The trial begins this winter. The Yum Yum Fun Park will never be the same.